Conference room. Yes, yes. Buenas tardes, good evening everybody. I'm very happy to be here for the second time. I was here in 1995 when Lean was just at the beginning. Now I'm here in 2001 and you see, although we were very hopeful and optimistic in 1995, the problems have not gone. We have new problems. And some of these problems I want to touch this evening. Well, the headline of our presentations was, How to be more competitive in a global world. I have titled my presentation Competitiveness and its Obstacles. Why? Because I'm confronted every day, almost every day, in the companies I'm working with competitiveness and its obstacles. Okay, thank you. It's very difficult to stand still. Okay. So, a little bit about our company. We were formed in 1976. I'm the owner of the company. We have, in order to be very fast, we are concentrating on the Japanese concepts. These are our partners on the right side, and on the bottom of the right side you see some of our clients we are working with, and you can see that we are working on a worldwide scale. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Okay. Okay. Well, how can we? I have organized my presentation into 4 points. What are the parameters for a strategy for competitiveness? What are the concepts for this strategy for competitiveness? And what are the obstacles? And I divide them into parts: controllable obstacles and non-controllable obstacles. Then I can move. Good. Non-controllable obstacles and the consequences. So, what are the parameters? To be very frank to you, and I'm sorry to tell you that for me, competitiveness is nothing scientific. You don't need computers, you don't need professors, you don't need an engineering degree. It's just hard work and common sense. Yes. And one of my teachers always said, well, when everything is common sense, why isn't it common practice? This is the question, and this is where the problem comes from. We are discussing here, because all these things you heard are not very scientific. This is common sense, but people are not doing it out of many reasons. So what you need is a simple, good product with the ecological energy saving, reliable features, and excellence in technology. You need low costs, so you have to focus on the value adding. You have to have high quality, built-in quality. Everybody knows quality. I'm in the quality movement since about 20 years, and I'm still waiting for many companies that they really start to build in quality from the beginning, and they don't do that. They want to build in the quality after they have developed the process or the product. And this is very strange. And I'm preaching the gospel since 1985. And very little happened. So, and you need, of course, delivery on time. That was already mentioned. We have the just-in-time concept. Of course, many automotive companies are already doing that. But there are a lot of companies who are still newcomers to that subject. So, and of course you need qualified and competent people who behave proactively. Not passively, proactively. So if you are doing all this, you are applying all these parameters, the thing is that speed, or you will recognize that speed is the single best indicator of competitiveness. Now, what are the concepts to achieve these parameters? It's no secret. They are all there. You have the 3P. The 3P means process and product preparation. This is what 3P. So you can develop the product and the process simultaneously. You don't have to do it one after another. You can do it simultaneously. A very good concept. You know the Kaizen concept or the Toyota production system? It's there. You have the Six Sigma concept or the zero defect concept. It's there. You just have to practice this, to apply it. You have the Lean Sigma, the combination of Six Sigma and Lean, and you have others like Hoshin or quality function deployment, or you name them. So everything is there. It's not a secret, what I said. Now, what are the obstacles? Why people don't do that? Well, as I said, I had controllable obstacles and non-controllable obstacles. Controllable obstacles by the company, I mean. So we have one big obstacle is what was already mentioned by the speakers who talked to you before me. We have the discussion-oriented culture instead of an action-oriented culture. We have an office-oriented culture instead of a go-to-Gemba first concept. In order to explain what I mean by that, you all know Colombo, don't you? Who knows Colombo? Everybody. Okay. Now what I mean, if you look at European criminal series on television, you very often see these commissars in an office. Have you ever seen Colombo in an office? Never. This is the difference, what I mean. You know, go to Gemba first. Before you do something, go to the working place, to the working station, and look what they are doing, and then you make a decision. This is what I mean. Or you have a function-centered instead of customer-oriented. Or you have everybody in our companies, if there is a problem, they want to hide the problem because they made a mistake, terrible. You know. But you don't have to hide problems. You have to expose the problems, that everybody sees them. If we don't commit any problems, we do not learn anything. Imagine a world without any problems, without any mistakes. What kind of world would that be? A terrible world. A terrible world. So, and the other thing is an individualistic instead of a team-based, and there are many more. So, this is one of the controllable obstacles, and the non-controllable, another one is the lack of sustainability, a big problem. As I said, I was here in 1995, 16 years ago. In the meantime, I have consulted with many companies. And with some companies, I have started Lean or Toyota production system or total productive maintenance, or you name them. I have started with some companies 3 times within 15 years. I started the first year, the second year, the third year. Then they said, well, we have done 3 years of Lean production, that's enough, we do now something different. After 3 years, they came back and wanted to do Lean again. And this is what happens all the time. For us, it is very difficult to follow a path really consistently. And this is what I mean by lack of sustainability. We are always talking or everywhere about sustainability, but that's it. And the obstacles, the uncontrollable obstacles, well, have something to do with the catastrophic financial policy of the last years. And you all know them, you read about them every day in the newspapers. The exchange rate fluctuations due to this policy of 20 and 30%. Imagine the problems the companies are having with these 20 and 30% of fluctuations. If your income would change 20 or 30% every month or every week, terrible. Or the dramatic increase of public debt. You all know the countries, Greece, Ireland, Portugal, Germany, Spain, all have problems with the public debt. The increase of raw material prices, wheat, oil, gas, copper, steel, they increased by 30 or 40% or even more. And consequently, the aggressive wage policy of the trade unions. Of course, people want more money. If prices are rising, people want more money for them. Understandable. We all want it. And the consequences? Well, companies must reinforce their improvement activities. There is no doubt about that. Otherwise, they are losing their position. And the export companies, for example, must ensure their income by some kind of hedging. Of course, the governments don't like this, but we need some hedging in order to make sure that we get the same money in 3 years than we do today. And another point is government's financial policy must find a tolerable balance between creation of jobs and fighting inflation. So they must reduce their spending, but at the same time they have to set incentives for the companies to instigate more investments. And of course the individual governments must act in congruence with the European Central Bank. This is very difficult because the situation in every country is a little bit different. And the last point is governments must exert their influence in order to keep wages in line with productivity improvements. Otherwise we get inflation. Of course, but personal income for everybody of us must grow. Otherwise there is no help for our problems. So, but only at a pace that is at least equal or less than the productivity improvements of our industry. And if we do that, I hope we will solve some problems. Not all of them, but some problems. Thank you very much.